So here's the thing.
So
hang on. You've talked to Mr. Rojas. I don't want to get into the actual evidence or you talking about the case today on the record. But let me just explain, and I'm sure Mr. Rojas has explained this. What will happen in a trial?
In the pursuit of truth, we analyze the law. This is Justice Clash 24.
A sovereign citizen wanted a jury trial until the judge explained the true prison risk she was facing.
Good morning, ma'am. Are you Veronica Sanders? And before we start, I'm going to take judicial notice of the court's file. It includes an evaluation for competency that Dr. Prapon prepared for us, dated September 17th of 2023. The finding in that report was that Ms. Sanders is currently competent to stand trial. Is there any other evidence with regard to competency, Mr. Rojas?
No,
Mr. Nichols. All right, then at this time I am going to find that Ms. Sanders is competent to stand trial. And Mr. Rojas, what is the announcement?
Judge, I speak with Ms. Sanders, and she has decided to plead not guilty in these cases and set up for trial. However, she did not want to sign the tab today.
Okay. So, Ms. Sanders, in cause number 23, DCCR 1005, you're charged with the second-degree felony offense of burglary of a habitation from July 19th of 2023. And what that means is if you go to trial and you're found guilty, the range of punishment would be between 2 years and up to 20 years in prison. Do you understand? And then in cause number 23, DCCR 1114, you're charged with the second-degree felony offense of assault on a peace officer from July 18th of 2023. That indictment alleges that you were previously convicted of assault on a public servant, March 24th of 2021. And what that means in that case, and probably in the other, if the state gives notice of that correctly, is that you would be looking at a first-degree felony punishment instead of a second degree because of that prior offense, which means the minimum punishment would be 5 years up to 99 years or life. Do you understand that? Do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Like I said, let's probably take I'm a little nervous, excuse me. Let's probably take the trial because I had seen the video yesterday, and then the video don't show where I beat the police officer. So that's
all right.
my problem.
So here's the thing.
So
hang on. So you've talked to Mr. Rojas. I don't want to get into the actual evidence or you talking about the case today on the record. But let me just explain, and I'm sure Mr. Rojas has explained this. What will happen in a trial is the police officer himself or herself will come and testify. Whether something, and then if there's a video, they'll show that video. And then if you say you didn't do it, then it'll be up to the jury to decide if they believe that police officer and what they see on the video. But, so we're not going to get into the facts.
So you saying about my pride, I've done already convicted of that pride and did my time on it, so why would my pride affect what I got some
because that's what the law is in the state of Texas. If you continue to break the law, then your punishment gets worse. Yeah, if you're found guilty and you have a felony conviction, then your punishment gets worse every time. So in this case, it goes from a second-degree felony to a first-degree felony. It bumps it up one. Do you understand that? So if you're found guilty in either of these cases, because you have that prior offense, the punishment is actually 5 years minimum up to the rest of your life in prison. Do you understand that? And not the 2 to 20. You understand? Answer yes or no, please. Okay. And so do you want, and what was the offer that was made?
It was to plead to the assault on a public servant for 5 years and dismiss the burglary.
So Mr. Rojas has gone over with you that the state's made an offer if you wanted to enter a plea of guilty for a 5-year term in prison on the assault on a peace officer with a dismissal on the burglary of a habitation. You have every right to reject that and let a jury decide on both of these. I just want to make sure you understand what the possible consequences could be if you go to trial and what your options are right now if you wanted to enter a plea. And do you understand all of that? And do you want to reject that and have your case go to a jury, both cases?
The judge reviewed 2 serious felony cases. A prior conviction dramatically increased the punishment range. The sovereign citizen questioned the evidence. Then, the reality of a possible life sentence changed everything.
You want to take that 5 years? All right, I'm going to hold the case while now you're going to have to go over that paperwork and sign it on the tablet with Mr. Rojas, right? Okay. All right, ma'am, you're Veronica Sanders again. And we have already gone through, I've taken judicial notice of the court's files with the finding that Ms. Sanders is competent. Mr. Rojas, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
She will.
Ms. Sanders, and cause number, and we're going on count 1 only in that
Yes.
one. Ms. Sanders, the state has elected to proceed on count 1 only in cause number 23 DCCR 1114. You're charged with the second-degree felony offense of assault on a peace officer or judge from July 18th of 2023. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they charged you with? I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Rojas? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation,
in this case,
exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law? State tenders number 1.
No objection.
Mr. Rojas, will your client waive the formal reading of the indictment?
She will.
Ms. Sanders, and cause number, and we're going on count 1 only in that
Yes.
one. Ms. Sanders, the state has elected to proceed on count 1 only in cause number 23 DCCR 1114. You're charged with the second-degree felony offense of assault on a peace officer or judge from July 18th of 2023. And how do you plead to that charge? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you actually did what they charged you with? I have here on the computer some documents that have your signature on them that the state has marked as exhibit number 1. Before you signed these, did you go over them with Mr. Rojas? Do you fully understand them? And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal? Do you also understand, if you're not a U.S. citizen, that a plea of guilty or no contest may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law? State tenders number 1.
No objection.
All right, Ms. Sanders, I'm going to find, again, that you entered your plea of, find that you're mentally competent, find that you entered your plea freely and voluntarily, find sufficient evidence at this time to find you guilty, and find you guilty of the second-degree felony offense of assault on a peace officer. Sentence you in accordance with your agreement to a term of 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I will sign a dismissal as part of that agreement in cause number 23, DCCR 1005. I've handed you the trial court certification that shows that this was an agreement that I followed, and so you have waived any right to appeal. I've also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read that written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long it lasts, you can talk to Mr. Rojas. All right, good luck to you, ma'am. You can go back with the bailiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For more real courtroom breakdowns, subscribe now. One decision changed the entire case. The jury trial disappeared, and a 5-year prison deal was accepted.